How's it going, guys? Feeling good? Feeling chippy? Wow, this guy's on his phone. He's like not even paying attention that I'm really starting the podcast. Is she okay? No, is she all right? Does she need your attention? You know I'm talking to you. Why are you ignoring me?
Jason, you should answer him, man.
No, I'm literally talking to you.
Everybody's fine with me.
You sure? Can we start?
Good. We can start.
All right, let's try this again. Hey everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of the Don't Be Mad podcast. You're joined here as always with one of your hosts, Matthew Rivera, aka at LeftyLucky_. Got my homie here.
Jason, I'm checked out today, so I'm like really not gonna say much because I'm getting on vacation in a few days. So
Yo, this dude got a haircut.
checked out.
You know, got the fade on the side, and he's been acting like life don't matter no more.
Finally discover that sponge for that curly top.
He's
Looking
got that.
like I'll be sure.
Like, I'll be sure. The fuck is wrong with you, dog? I'll be sure my ass.
No, you want to? He looks like he should have a toothpick in his mouth and start calling himself Love.
Yeah,
with like the sunglasses.
Definitely. Oh,
looking
yeah,
a little-
the sunglasses.
He's looking a little Pete Diddy-ish right now.
Oh, he didn't show you even the little jacket? Oh, his swag's on point.
Ready to like do a little Diddy bop over here, you know? Last
hating right now.
last train to Paris.
Oh, last
Says
bolt
I
to
look
DR.
like I'll be sure.
The last bolt to DR going down.
Last boat to DR. Oh man, speaking of Dominicans, you want to just jump right into the fat right away? Man,
I don't even know.
Fabolous is out here wilding, bro. I mean, like when I originally heard the story, I think it was last night, Friday night, I heard about the story, or Thursday, one of the two. But like just hearing about how he attacked his girl and then was like threatening the family, I was like, all right, this doesn't sound good at all, you know? And then like as details started coming out where it's like reported that he punched her like 7 times in the face, knocking out her teeth, and then was threatening like to the point of like it being like terroristic threats.
He gave her that chip on her tooth.
It's not funny.
I don't see why you're laughing.
Listen.
funny.
It's so out of character for Fabolous. That's why I'm saying that.
I don't think
it's an out of character thing. Like,
If
I just think it's just something that just first came to light now.
yeah, or at least to the public eye.
Light, yeah.
Well,
Because when like the video surfaced and like just watching the actions and watching the way he was going about it, like you can always tell when like something is like a first time emotional reaction where it's just like more crazy than methodic.
Right, you almost seem the victim seem almost shocked.
Whereas like the way he was like yelling and the way he was talking and acting, like it seemed as if like it was comfortable in nature for him, you know, which is like a weird analysis of it just based on like watching the video, you know. But I mean, for those that don't know, like Fabolous attacked his girlfriend Emily B. And like I said,
Mother of 2.
Yeah,
you know,
mother
mother
of
of
his-
3, but he has 2 kids.
Yeah,
with her.
2 kids with her, and then like after attacking her, like allegedly it's over guns that she had found in their home, and she basically had help from her family to get rid of. And when he found out that the guns had been taken away, he flipped out. So I mean, it's fucked. It's developing, and we'll obviously keep our ear to the story and see what else comes of it. But as of right now, it's not looking good for Fabolous at all, man.
But I don't like those terroristic threats charges. I think that's bullshit. I mean,
Oh man.
you can't stick that on someone, though.
yeah, it's like to me, it's just something like
Well,
it comes. with a lot
it wasn't
of
terroristic. It
years,
was
man.
terrorizing, not terroristic. Terrorizing.
Yeah,
But I mean, like, if you're on the phone, like, threatening to kill people, that's a terrorizing act. Like, you're literally on the phone.
I don't think he meant it literally.
Yeah, like, he didn't mean to punch her 7 times in the face. Like, come on.
Nah.
Really?
No. I don't think he meant. You think he really meant he was going to take their lives?
Dude, we got to take people at their word. I'm not going to hypothetically think.
Like I said, it's a story that's way out of character for Fabolous.
I don't think it's way out of
I'm not
character.
going to say it's out of character because we really don't know his character. I'm just saying, like, this is the first time something like this, on this, especially this type of scale, has come out in terms of Fabolous. Like, usually the only times we hear from him is when he's dropping a new verse or showing off a new jersey that he bought from, like, an old school TV show, you know? Like the most we usually see of Fabolous is fashion related things of like the way he's dressing and then a random song that comes out. So, I mean, if we're just looking at it from a public eyes perspective, yeah, it's out of character, but we don't really know Fabous's character. But I mean, like, it just does not look good for him right now.
We'll see how it goes, but good luck, Fabolous. We'll see how it happens. One of my favorite rappers of all time, though. Still thinking of that.
I won't go that far.
Well, he is one of the best rappers.
He is.
No, I'll say I like
10.
his career.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say he's a top 10 rapper, like everything all time or of a generation.
Of our generation.
Of our generation, yeah, I could put him in the top 10, but if we're going all time,
he won't be that far from top 10.
He's probably like top 20 for sure.
Yeah,
top 20 for sure. Top 10, I wouldn't know. Top 20 for sure.
I don't know.
He dodged a bullet by not joining Bad Boy. That's a good thing.
Like the one thing about his career I can say is like his longevity. Like that's one
And
thing
his
you can't take away from him. But at the same time, like he's never been an artist where it's like I hear he has a project coming out, I'm like counting down the days for it to come out. You know,
probably not here in New York.
I definitely.
No, I'm strictly speaking for myself.
Yeah.
I definitely.
Yeah, like I'm strictly speaking for myself.
Definitely wait for, like I remember when the Soul tapes used to be released on like.
Oh man, I love the Soul tapes. I still think Soul Tape 2 is my favorite one.
And I waited up that night to get that download link, man. Fabolous is like a breath of fresh air. I think like he's dope. I know he has weird ways because he got exposed recently by that Selena Poor girl there. That girl who goes around claiming she fucked everybody. And
which one?
Okay.
Which Instagram model is this now?
she's the one who said she was pregnant with Offset's baby.
Which is
new.
Believable. He has like 7 baby mamas.
Whatever. But anyways, but like her, she got Fabolous recorded on FaceTime when she's offering him to suck his dick, and he's like, "Are you good at it?" Like literally.
Well, that's.
I feel like you got to start asking that now after that China tape came out.
Are you good at it? And she's like, "Well, you can see." And I mean, like to know that you have a woman that's stuck by you. You know what I mean? It's not the first time he's done things wrong next to her.
That's always gonna happen when you're a star
That's
and
not
you're on
true.
the road. You. I don't care what anyone says. You're always smashing a bitch. If you're a star on the road and you have that kind of money, you're always smashing. People thought
I don't
Dwayne.
think Nipsey Hussle's out there smashing all these hoes when he's got Lauren London.
Yeah.
People thought Dwayne Wade was he was a nice guy and everything. When we found out,
Whoa, they were on a break.
Yeah.
Huh?
They were
Him
on a
and
break. It wasn't like
Gabrielle Union, they were on a break. He had a break baby on her. He didn't cheat. They were broken up at the time.
Hey, I'm saying it's a break.
They were broken up. He went out. He rolled the dice.
I mean, LeBron never had none of these rumors.
Yeah, right. If LeBron is hanging with Dwayne Wade, are you kidding me? It just hasn't come
I
out
remember a few years back there was one scare with an Instagram model, but it fizzled away quicker than fucking anything else.
Chris Bosh. There's a lot of people. I mean, poor Carmelo. He got busted, but
Carmelo was out here wilding. Carmelo was out here.
Your wife is there showing her titties on TV. I mean,
so what? She's acting.
No, you can. Well, Chris Bosh is. Well, no, Chris Bosh is doing anything, but
acting on TV. Like, come on.
But the thing is, the consensus is, was he okay with that?
So that gives him a reason to while out.
Hey, listen. Once I saw Carmelo went into the parking lot after Kevin
you want to know
Garnett.
something? You saw how quick he changed his ways when Lala started putting out all those photos where like her in a bikini or in them tight ass dresses, and he was literally looking at his Instagram just like, damn, I might have fucked up.
Listen, I knew Carmelo was a G, and I knew he was serious about it. Is when he went after Kevin Garnett in the parking lot. After he talked analysis, but Kevin Garnett doesn't fight anyone.
Yeah, like we all know it's been proven that Kevin Garnett is all bark, no bite, because the second anybody steps up to him, he doesn't want to swing. So.
Yeah, but Carmelo's not a G. Let's not get it twisted. He backed away from Nate Robinson with that New York Denver fight.
Oh, when he did the backups of all backups?
Yes.
From
one side of the court
backed up right to
he
the
went
locker
all
room.
the way to the locker room. He moonwalked all the way to the locker room.
How tall is Carmelo? 6'8", 6'9"?
6'8", yeah.
And how tall is Nate Robinson?
But Nate Robinson is strong, though.
It doesn't matter.
No, it does matter. Everyone I heard who talked about
He's
Nate
got
Robinson,
that little man, strong man.
people, even Shaq was saying like he got pushed out the way of, and he was like, "Who is that? Oh, it's Nate Robinson." Like,
Yeah, because he probably pushed him on his thigh somewhere
he's got a very low center of gravity, so it's like he can really just get underneath and power through, you know?
They said if you want to get into a fight, that's someone you bring to the fight with you.
And you can also bring Chris Charles, you know?
Huh?
You can bring Chris Charles.
Yeah, serving out 2-piece and biscuits.
Left-right combo.
Extra crispy.
Yeah, I mean,
You talk about
As
Chris
Shannon
Charles
Sharp
all
would
you want.
say.
He missed both of them. Hit him right.
No, he got him in the neck.
both.
they
He
got
got him in the
all
neck.
connected.
Please, where's Chris Charles now?
He
No one
connected
knows.
fast and Connect
Probably
4,
dead.
baby. Bam,
Chris
bam.
Charles is probably dead in the alley somewhere.
Whoa. Come on.
Sorry. That's all he's remembered for, though. That's all.
That's a good thing to be remembered for.
That's not a good thing to remember for it. Trying to punch one of the greatest
Dog,
basketball players of all time.
I would love to be remembered for that. Yo, I got 2 pieces off, and he ain't swing nothing back.
Yeah.
I did that.
If Kobe's swinging,
That's a
wasted money.
Killmonger. Is this your king moment?
Kobe wasn't going to swing back. He saw life flash before his eyes.
Oh, please.
He knew better.
All right, let's continue keeping it light here.
But also, too, the whole Chris Brown story, the picture that emerged.
Oh yeah, that's true. I mean, I didn't outside the picture. Nothing.
Well, the girl came out and said, "Yo, they were just having fun."
Yeah.
There was more pictures. The girl was smiling the whole time.
That's what I'm saying. Like when the pictures came out, people were like, "Oh, like because he has his arm around her neck," but I mean, like it didn't look like distressful. And
Yeah, but they made it a big deal.
yeah, no,
They
of course.
want
I
to
mean,
find an
because it's Chris
excuse.
Brown.
They
you
want
know,
to find an
it's-
excuse.
It's Chris Brown. Even like when I saw it, I was just like, "All right, like this looks bad. Like it doesn't look good." But but then when everybody who was there comes out and says like, no, this was the situation, and like there's more pictures that come up because the first few pictures that came out were like the worst looking ones. But when you see like the whole series of pictures, it's like, all right, yeah, like it's not that like someone's really just trying to like get a little rumor going to like
Pretty much.
it's like whatever. But yeah, like as I was saying, let's keep it light with some of the celebrity stuff that happened this week. So Tiffany Haddish had a nice little interview there where she was talking about how someone bit Beyonce's beautiful face.
I'm so proud of Sanaa Lathan. She did ever since that Alien movie, she did the right thing. Proud of you, Sanaa Lathan. It was
thing of biting somebody's face.
Well,
It was-
technically it's still allegedly.
It's her. It's her. They said it's her.
And look, I was saying this. It's like from what we know, like Sanaa Lathan and Beyonce have been friends for a very long time.
Yeah.
And I was asking, like, all right, first off, someone bit Beyonce's face. I think it would be like if it was a legitimate bite, it would be a big issue. And then hearing that it was like Sanaa Lathan, I'm like, all right, well, like, what type of bite was it then? You know, was it just one of those like cute little, your cutie best friend nibble your face type
But
shit?
also too,
or?
like it had to be someone she was comfortable with.
And that too, because like, who's gonna get close enough to Beyonce to put a mouth on Beyonce outside of like Jay-Z and Blue?
And Jay-Z didn't knock the person out.
Jay-Z didn't do anything.
Solange didn't knock the person out. Solange waiting in the elevator like, wait till this bitch get in here. Hold my purse. But like, and even like as like people were like speculating going on, I was thinking to myself, I'm like, I mean, if you got a chance to like give Beyonce a little bite on the cheek, I mean, I wouldn't be mad at that. And just a little nibble, you know, she always looks like she tastes very delicious. So, I mean, why not see if you could just get a little nibble out of there?
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Oh, you guys are looking at me like I'm fucking like what? You wouldn't try to give Beyonce a little bite?
Maybe a kiss, but not a bite, bro. What kind of?
Maybe a kiss. You know, you start a little foreplay. You know, you work it up.
Yeah, but how am I working up to a bite? From a
You
kiss to a
you
bite?
started the bite. You set the tone early.
It's called assault, my friend.
Yeah.
It's called assault.
Okay, obviously, I'm talking everything with like this is consensual adults, and yeah, it's like granted the situation like is funny because I mean think about it, like biting Beyonce's face. That's such a random thing.
Definitely a random thing to do.
Hey man, I just hope it was everything Sanaa Lathan thought it would be.
Allegedly.
She
doesn't look that aggressive.
because I mean, even
Have you
at one
seen
point,
her lately? She cut her hair off. Something's wrong with her.
Even like at one point, people were saying it was like Lena Dunham or Jennifer Lawrence. Like there were so many random names that were.
Ew,
popping
Lena
up.
Dunham.
Jesus Christ, calm down, bro.
Beyonce needs a tetanus shot after that or some shit.
Whoa.
Jesus Christ.
What's wrong with you?
Lena Dunham? Ugh.
So aggressive today.
No, Lena Dunham is, ugh. She's annoying.
Definitely need a vacation, Jason.
She's annoying as hell.
You are wilding, bro.
No, but Lena Dunham next to wouldn't even be allowed 10 feet from Beyonce.
Look, Lena Dunham's not my fave at all, but I mean, I don't know her relationship with Beyonce, so I'll leave that at that. All right, I don't know if you guys, since we've talked about him in the past, I figured let's bring him up. 6ix9ine was on The Breakfast Club, cleared the air. I don't know, did you guys watch the interview? Or?
I just saw the Gary Owen stuff when Gary Owen copied him.
Yeah, I saw that.
That was hilarious.
I saw some of the interview.
I don't know who these new rappers are, 6ix9ine and stuff like that.
Well, that's the thing. Like for me, it was like hearing how much people were like talking about the internet. I figured, let me check this guy out. Like I didn't really check his music before. Outside of like whatever crazy shit people were talking about, I didn't really know who he was. So it's like, all right, you're gonna be in an interview on The Breakfast Club. This is your chance to just like tell people who you are and what's real and what's fake. And like, I felt like after watching that interview, not that like now I'm like, this kid is legit, he's a shit or whatever, but I just feel like I got a better understanding of like who he is and what he's been going through because, like I've heard like the pedophile rumors about him and like he actually like spoke about what had happened and like why essentially he had just pled guilty because he was a broke kid that was in front of prosecutors and they were basically just throwing the numbers of like you could go to jail for 10,
wait.
15
He's
years.
from New York?
Yeah.
And he pled guilty to being a pedophile because he was a kid? There's no way. There's absolutely no way.
No, but when you hear the fact,
that's what I'm saying. Like after watching the interview, like seeing how he explained it.
Yeah.
I don't care what no one says.
And no, but it's one of those things where like we've heard the story before where it's like you could be like 17, 18 years old and like you don't have money to like hire your own lawyer. So like the state provides you with one. And all those guys really do is just be like they want the process to go through quickly. Yeah. So they just say either you can plead guilty and like you do like this amount of time and have like this many.
So he's a registered sex offender then?
No, he's not. No, that's the thing. Because when the whole process went through, they didn't charge him as an adult.
Oh no, you still can't carry that with you though.
That's the thing, like
that's not
based
good.
on, and I'm just saying based on his explanation, it was
makes
like
sense.
Yeah, it's one of those things where like we've heard it before. It's like they just slap you with the numbers and say, "Oh, if we go to trial, it's like either you take the plea deal, and you do like 1 year in jail and then 2 years probation, or you could go to trial." End up guilty on all these other charges as well, and then you're going to be going away for 10, 15 years. So, being a broke kid who was like scared out of his ass, he said, all right, I'll take the deal. And based on that, like that's why he's not a registered sex offender. Like it was basically the system doing what the system does, like gaming a poor kid who didn't understand the circumstances he was in.
Damn.
No, I mean, even like there's a couple videos I checked out of his before, and he was talking about growing up, being Puerto Rican and Mexican, being bullied.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People didn't like him. He wasn't rich. He had one shoes the whole school year. Like he was really goes in depth into like his upbringing.
All I'm saying is like it gave me a deeper understanding of him and like, not necessarily like a huge respect for him, but it's like, okay, now like I know your side of the things and like I said, like before, like I'll take you at your word, like that's how you presented it. This is the stories. Unless something comes out that proves you're lying, all right, I gotta just take it like that. And I feel like the interview was a good look for him.
But I also don't like the fact that, as a hip hop culture, as black people, as minorities, we're condoning this whole check-in thing. I don't agree with that, and I don't.
Well, I don't even think it's a black culture thing. It's literally just a gang culture thing.
Well, it's a gang culture for sure.
And I mean, like, if you're gonna go around parading yourself as a blood, as a gangster, and you're telling people, test my gangster if you really have a problem with me. Like, if that, and like Charlamagne was saying it himself, he's like, look, I don't want to see anything bad happen to you, but with the way you're going about, you're trolling, you're telling people to test you. Yeah, like he was like, famous last words are, I can't get touched, and it's understanding. It's like, it's not a matter of like me telling you this because I want you to get touched. It's me telling you this because people who have done what you're doing have gotten fucked over before, And like, I mean, like,
apparently he did checked in.
Oh,
I mean, they have recordings of him calling up and paying somebody money and.
Which I mean, I wouldn't be surprised at that. I mean, if you're gonna be going around,
but then he still got jumped at the airport. after doing all of that.
Does it tell you?
But apparently it wasn't even like LA people because it happened in LAX, but
Right.
it was like some people from Houston that attacked them.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so it wasn't even like LA people. That
So
did it.
you see, you know what that means? I mean, people are traveling just to mess up with him, and that's
Which is exactly what Charlamagne was saying. It's like
people are traveling to mess up with this dude.
yeah, it's like Charlamagne was saying it straight up. It's like you're presenting yourself with this persona of like you're a blood, you're a gangster, and like you want people to test you. Well, eventually somebody will, you know. And
It reminds me of the whole thing with Chief Keef and all them people was causing all that bunch of trouble from Chicago. And where's Chief Keef now? In jail. In jail because he's doing stupidness, and they'll catch you somehow.
Yeah,
if it's not mob, if it's not the gangs, it's gonna be police that's gonna catch you. It's one of the two. If you keep acting that way.
well, I mean, but that's the thing. It's like that's the lifestyle you were in, and that's what'll happen. I don't know if Chief Keef is in jail. I know he moved out of Chicago though. I don't know if he's in jail though.
I think Chief Keef's in jail.
As far as I know, like I don't.
I don't think he's in jail.
Yeah, I don't.
The person who was in jail was like Bobby Smurd.
Yeah, he went to jail because he wrote a whole song basically snitching on the whole crew. You know,
Snitches get stitches.
as MF Doom said, rap snitch knishes, man. You're just telling on yourselves.
And he got a whole book thrown at him and Rowdy.
They hit him with the like conspiracies and all that shit. Like, fuck them hard.
Yeah, you can't get caught with that stuff, man. It's bullshit. But act right, and you won't have no troubles. Hopefully, Charlamagne got through to him, but I doubt it.
Oh, who knows? I mean, like I said, like the only thing I really looked at that interview was just like getting a better understanding of him, and I felt like I got that.
Cool, yo, cool.
All right. So let's switch up to something a bit more serious. After a year, Alexandre Bisonette changes his plea to guilty in the charges of the mosque shooting.
Oh,
And I mean, like, I'm glad he did it. Because I mean, it's clear we all know what you did. It's not like you tried to hide from the fact that you did it, and to then like after that try to say you're not guilty. It's like what, either get off of this or like get a lesser sentencing. Like fuck that. Like own up to what you did, and I'm glad that you're owning up to what you did, even though like his reasoning for it was he didn't want to have like the families go through any more, like have to relive what had happened. But I mean, I'm not gonna like pat you on the back and be like you're doing the right thing and all this shit. Like no, fuck, you should have did that from day one.
I'm gonna be like, well, I hope you get raped in jail. That's what I hope happens to him right now. Honestly, that's what he deserves.
I'm not gonna wish for rape on him. He's going to jail. He's gonna be there. For,
If Canada had a death penalty, he should be dead. He should
I'm not
be
a death
dead.
penalty person. I'd rather you.
I don't think anybody
rot in
have
jail.
We don't have right to determine who lives or
No, not even live like that. I'd rather you rot in jail than you get a quick ending and it's like
Nah, because I don't want to pay for him.
You don't have to like atone or anything. Like no, you should just rot in
You
jail.
gotta live with what you did.
I don't want to pay for him to live off my money in jail.
You took a few people's lives away. Go to jail and be stuck in jail for the rest of your life.
No, jail.
But one other thing that really shook me with him, he made a statement saying he still don't understand why he did it.
He knows exactly. He planned.
I don't care.
Anything that's
no, I have
Yeah,
zero
like,
sympathy for people like that.
You don't know? Well, too bad. You'll have a lot of time to think about it in a cell.
Yeah, I mean, like it's messed up because yes, there have like 5 people died.
Yeah, I think so. Around
and then you have that one guy who's now like completely, paralyzed from.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like that's messed
and
up.
That's another reason why I'm just like, yeah, go to jail, rot in jail. Oh, you don't know why you did it? Well, you have plenty of time to think about it.
Yeah, and there shouldn't be no deal. He shouldn't be getting 25, and if he's a good behavior, life in prison.
You took multiple lives away. You did a terroristic act,
or kill him.
No, I won't kill him.
No, fuck killing.
Life.
Nah,
I want him to suffer.
And I don't think it's necessarily a concept of suffering. I think you should live with this truth.
Because people who are deranged that way.
He's not deranged.
Huh?
He's not deranged. He has a hateful heart.
But people, but you're in a place with hateful people. That you're in an environment that's kind of suited for you.
I won't say prison's full of hateful people.
Not everything, but I'm not saying that everyone in prison is innocent, but not everyone in prison is innocent.
No, but that's what I'm
saying.
To say like he's going to a place with a bunch of people with hateful hearts, I wouldn't say
what I'm saying is, let me phrase that better. He's going to a place that his sort of behavior is more understandable than him being outside in the public.
Absolutely not.
No, it's not, like you're saying he's going to go into a place where like other people are going to sit him down and be like, I understand why you did that. Don't worry about it, buddy. It's not that bad. Like, no, like that's not what he's gonna find in jail?
I think he's gonna find a lot of hard time with like dealing with people because he attacked somebody on the basis of their religious belief and practice, and now it's not even a thing of color, black or white. It's really about you're attacking somebody for faith, and I think he's gonna have a hard time adjusting. He's not gonna go talk to people who are gonna be understanding to him.
But this is the thing I'm talking about. The sort of environment he's going to, whichever jail he goes to, there's more people like him in there, in jail. There's more. I'm being serious. There's more people like him in jail than there is outside of jail. So, yes, he's going to jail. He's gonna have a hard time. Everything, but there are gonna be people who's gonna be like, I understand you. They don't have to like him. They don't have to like him or does whatever he does, but they're going to understand him better than, like, say for me, you or Matt or anything like that. They're going to understand him better in there. And he's going to be in an environment where people, not necessarily like-minded people, but a lot more people who have either similar or other distinct.
What, they're going to empathize with his actions?
Not empathize, but they'll be more understanding of his actions. That's what I'm trying to say.
I don't know. I just feel bad because it's like nowadays you have to ask yourself, was I doing something wrong? You know what I mean? These guys went to pray, they went to fellowship, and something bad happened.
It's just hateful people, man.
Yeah, and it's
that's why ridiculous. you need to look around your surroundings, see who's around you. Probably that person who keeps staring at you could be some deranged person. It's sad
I don't think he's deranged. I don't like to use that word.
Huh?
I think he's sound-minded.
I think he knew exactly.
He's not deranged. Deranged give him an excuse.
He knew exactly.
No, I didn't say it was crazy. You don't have to be crazy and deranged. It's not the same thing. Deranged means like he's disturbed, and deranged doesn't mean crazy. Crazy is like you're really out of your mind, stuff like that. That's the excuse they use on TV to say, "Oh, he was crazy. He wasn't in his right mind."
So you're saying he was disturbed?
Huh? I'm saying there's something wrong with him. And it doesn't mean that you're not capable of thinking in a rational way. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, just because there's something wrong with you doesn't mean that you're not capable of thinking right.
But then why even give him that benefit of the doubt to say that?
Huh?
You're giving him almost a cushion to lean on.
Yeah,
because everyone has something in them, but like say for
hate
example,
is what he had inside.
Everyone has something to hate, but we're not going to go to the extent where we start killing off stuff like that.
Well, he did.
He did based
and
that's
on
why I
hate.
said he deserves to either die or get.
He was known as a Trump supporter. He was known as like one of those white nationalists. So, I mean, it lines up with what we know of people like that who have done these hateful things.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's literally out of.
And I don't want to, and I also don't want to like target, like, people always have this stereotype of Quebecers are not tolerant and stuff like that. No, I'm not saying no. Most Quebecers are perfectly fine. They really don't even care.
I don't think anybody was saying anything like that.
But
I was literally just speaking on him.
But I mean, I'm talking in general though. Most people, there is that stereotype of like Quebec people are very xenophobic because of language and all that kind of nonsense. They're not too open to other cultures and stuff like that. There is that stereotype, but most Quebecers aren't like that. Those are like more old time people who are probably dying out, who still believe in separatism, who still believe in
He's not old.
Huh?
He's not old.
He's young.
He's a young guy. I think it comes down to people who believe in this purist mindset that, they're either superior to somebody. It's people who lack understanding of others and not willing to even give it a shot.
Yeah.
And to me, like, that's cold. Like, his behavior is cold-blooded. It was premeditated. And there's no excuse. Like, I don't, he's not deranged. He has all his sensors working well. He did that shit out of hate, bro. Pure hate. Pure hate. Because at some point, something got to click and be like, yo, what the hell? Like, on his way there, something got to click. Be like, yo, am I really going to do this to these people? They didn't do me nothing.
Yeah.
I don't even know their names. They don't disturb me. Something had to click. And for him to he had no conscience, you have to say.
It's like the kid that shot up the church in South Carolina.
Yeah.
And he's gonna die, which he rightly deserves.
They're gonna give him.
Death is I don't think as humans we just like that guy was wrong to go into a church or a mosque and do that. I think as a society, for us to take their lives we're no different. We shouldn't have. We're not God. Like let time do that. Let them sit and think.
And think for what?
I don't even view it on like any type of religious level. It's more to me. It's just it's an easy way out.
Well, that's my point.
To kill him.
I think jail is the easy way out because you're in jail. You're getting everything free now.
Yeah, but you have to live with what you did.
A lot of people can live with that. Look at the Marilyn Manson person there. He died
and understand
a couple months ago with pure hate in his head.
If you could get to a point where you come to terms, you have some type of like self-reflection where you find actual intellectual growth based on something that is truly heinous and disgusting, then that's a good thing to have happen. Right. Even if we despise the person, to know that they've come to a point of complete and true enlightenment and understanding and what they did was wrong, and that now there needs to be some type of repentance or atonement.
You usually don't get that from murderers, though.
But I mean,
you can't.
I don't know enough murderers to like confirm or deny that.
You don't know enough
because
murderers.
it's like that.
Okay, I don't know any. Well, I hope at least I don't know.
It's like that guy in Toronto who was killing all the gay people and hiding them in his plants at home.
Oh, that's fucked up. You see, that to me is somebody who's deranged.
Yeah.
He needs to die.
You're not just killing people. Like, you're literally like...
He's targeting them, a specific group of people, too.
You've literally targeted a specific group of people for clearly hateful reasons. And on top of it, now, like, you're finding these despicable ways to get rid of their bodies. Like, come on, that is fucked.
And
that is derangement.
Robert Pickman, he's the same one.
And that's a person you can't. That's a person you can't rehabilitate. That's when I see something like that, I'm like, you put someone in a plant.
But I mean, you're putting them in jail not for them to rehabilitate.
A jail is technically it's a rehabilitation center. That's what a jail is.
That is what.
That's what a jail is.
Right, but when you have a life sentence,
because you're not. Well, that's the thing. Yeah,
when you have a life sentence, you're not being rehabilitated to come back to society.
But the idea of jail is like you go away for that certain amount of time.
They don't even call them jails. They call them rehabilitation centers. All of them.
But I'm just speaking of like what we're talking about here, like going there and like let's say you're serving like 5 years or 10 years, knowing that, you know, maybe after 8 years of good behavior, you can get out early or whatever. The idea is that when you're there, you will be rehabilitated. You'll go to like therapeutic sessions and classes and basically try to maintain a healthier lifestyle and eventually get to an understanding of like what you did was wrong, why you couldn't do that, like why you shouldn't do that, so that when you go back out in society, you leave better than when you got in. That's the idea. Not always what happens, but that is the idea.
That's what jail was originally for. But nowadays, you know, with privatization and all that stuff, jails have to make a profit now because.
Not in Canada.
Yeah, in the States.
In the States. Yeah, in the States. Canada's still the government that owns everything. But hey, he's crazy. He should die. That's my personal opinion. I think he should die. I think he should get raped in jail. Whatever bad should happen to him in jail, it should only happen to him.
But
like I have nothing
like
bad
hate
to
don't
wish on
beget hate. Like you
no, but I'm the type.
What you're saying is coming. It sounds at least that it's coming from a hateful or despicable place.
Because I
know you. You're not that type of person.
But that's the thing. I'm rational.
I don't take pleasure in human suffering.
Yeah,
but he's not human to me. For you to kill people
he's a human. He's a human who did something fairly disgusting. Yeah. But I don't take pleasure in his suffering because he made people suffer.
I'm the mindset is you don't deserve for someone who's been given white privileged, who's been given everything in the world to do this to people who just went to pray, who had a lot of them just there to make a living, who come from different countries. For you to do that, you don't deserve anything. You don't deserve sympathy. You don't deserve good health. You deserve to be pushed down the steps face first every day, every time you go down the steps, all the time.
That is cruel.
Yeah,
but what he did was cruel. And what I'm saying is it's not even as bad as what he did. That's the thing. It's not even as bad as what he did to those people. You cripple someone for life. He could never walk again.
Granted, what we're trying to say is, and yeah, you may justify it by saying it's not as bad as what he did, but the fact of you hoping for and wishing for cruelty and pain on somebody else, that's not a good thing in itself. Yeah. Like that's basically what Jamal is trying to tell you. It's like
it may be not a good thing, but it's very satisfying in the moment.
But that's exactly what we're.
But a lot of people.
But hear me out.
Not promoting.
But hear me out. I mean, yeah, that might be satisfying But isn't it more satisfying to know that that person is actually living with that for the rest of their life?
Because the person who's paralyzed, he still has to pay taxes. He's paying for taxes for the person who put him into that jail,
and he has to live the rest of his life with that.
And the guy has to live the rest of his.
Why should he have the easy way out?
How is that the easy way out?
Being killed. You said he should die.
That's not the easy way out. That's the ultimate punishment.
How?
He wants to live. He knows he's going to jail now. That's why he pled guilty. He knows he's going to jail for life. What does he have to worry about now?
Well, I mean, he may want to die. He may literally hang himself. It's not like.
Then if he hangs himself, all the better. Do it yourself.
Wow.
That we'll see your level of courage if you can do it yourself. If you can hang,
I'm not going to wish death on anyone.
Yeah,
if he wants to, he wished death on a lot of people and killed people. If he can kill himself, all the better. Save me money.
Wow.
Save me money. I'm not paying for you in jail.
The views being expressed by Jason are not a direct reflection of the rest of the Don't Be Mad podcast team.
Hey, everyone will agree with me though with this, and I know that for sure.
I agree.
I don't know about that.
Everyone,
like I said, man, that's the way you feel. That's the way you feel.
I mean, you're entitled to feel that way.
I'm just not the type that takes pleasure in human suffering. I'm not going to wish human suffering or death on anyone. That's just me. So let's move it along from there, because I mean, keeping up with the stories that have been coming out, you had in Sacramento, unfortunately, Stephen Clark got killed in his backyard, got shot 20 times by the police because for whatever reason they thought he had a gun in his hand, and rather than commanding him to like drop the gun, which is usually what they do in those situations, they just open fired on a man in his backyard 20 times, which, I mean, I don't know in what world you can find justification in that type of action.
They'll find a way. They always do.
Look, knowing how those people are when they just want to go against the black life, yeah, there's somebody who's going to try and go out there and justify it, but it's unjustifiable. It's disgusting.
Oh, no, you're right. I've seen the videos and all that stuff. I've seen all the videos and stuff like that. The thing with, and this is the thing with police unions and all that stuff, they have a huge problem, is that anytime a police like has a shooting, I don't care if you're black, white, whatever, you need to test these police officers for drugs, because a lot of them are souped up on something. And this is not me just saying that just to sound crazy, but these are people who I know who worked as police officers, who are police officers, people who worked around investigators. There are a lot of police officers who do a lot of nonsense that are on something.
I don't know about that.
I remember New York tried to get that for drug testing, and the union was so opposed to it. It was ridiculous. And like, if you did nothing wrong, why not be sure? Because okay, the family, this guy is not coming back. He's dead. So let at least make sure that your reputation's intact. You think you did the right thing? Test for something. You did the right thing. You can test for it. It's fine. Nothing. It's only a couple of minutes out of your day compared to a family that lost their kid for forever. What's a couple minutes for life? And a lot of police officers don't want to do that. And the unions are very, very much against it, but because a lot of them are souped up on something. That's why you see a lot of them, they get very aggressive. Sometimes they get excessively aggressive, which looks ridiculously dumb. And a lot of these incidents happen because of that. And it's crazy. It's
like the one
crazy.
thing that we all, like, I'm not just going to say they're all out there on drugs and that's why they're just shooting up everyone, because if that were the case, there would be a lot more than just black people getting shot in these types of ways. Like, anybody who would be aggressive toward a cop, the first thing they would do is pull out their weapon, start doing the threats, and then start opening fire. But that's not the case. So to simply say it's like some of them are on drugs, well then why is it only these type of stories get connected to black lives? It doesn't make sense, And like one of the reasons why I wanted to like bring this up is because recently you did have the March for Our Lives, where students en masse basically walked out of school and they had a march in DC, if I'm not mistaken, and basically we're seeing like this movement that's really picking up, and I mean for the better, but it's also like opened up a lot of things about like how, where was this type of support when like Black Lives Matter was like really first coming up and trying to bring attention to these issues that we had, and people basically looking down at, like, you had one famous person, Selena Gomez, who at the time said, "Oh, me posting a hashtag isn't going to save anyone's life." But then you have her in the March for Our Lives, like she writes the hashtag March for Our Lives on one of her arms, and then on the other arm she writes not just the hashtag. So like it's almost a slap in the face to like exactly the Black Lives Matter people that she was talking against and saying like a hashtag won't do anything.
I have a lot to say about this.
Go for it, man.
And to me, honestly speaking, the March for Life, I think, was a good thing.
No, it's amazing.
Generally
thing.
speaking.
Amazing thing.
However, I do believe there's some ulterior motive. There's big wigs behind this whole movement, and there's more political gain for it. Somebody's paying for these kids to be able to go down to
I can tell you exactly who did.
I don't really care, but I'm just saying there's a political agenda behind it.
There's not. I can tell you why,
Jason,
too.
there's no way possible.
Do you want to listen to what I have to say first?
Let me finish my point,
Let him finish his thought.
Right? That's one. Secondly, the whole police shooting thing, I really think police are systematically racist. Like, what movie was it with Martin Lawrence when he was a cop? Was it Blue Streak?
Blue Streak, yeah.
Right. And if you remember the scene where they're in the shooting range and he didn't shot the black guy, and they ask him why, and he's like, "Well, I don't know if she's taking the purse or not." But it's the truth. I feel like even that test, I forgot what it's called, but it's a test where they give young kids these series of image, which persons mean based on color tone. And even the black kid would look at the black image and say, they're the mean ones.
They're the mean ones.
Those are the things that I think needs to be changed. The concept is not every black guy is going to be aggressive with you. And every black guy is not a drug dealer because they live in nice. And not everybody with something in their hand is going to shoot you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that's where, if you look where police came from, before emancipation, there was no such thing as a police officer.
The police were strictly there to catch runaway slaves.
Yeah, they're slave catchers.
That's literally their job.
And so it's no different now that they're, black people or people of color are the one being, killed at their hands. And that's something that should be changed. It had nothing to do with drug testing, because I think inherently the system is built for black people to look like villains.
Well, and like going into like as you were saying about how black people being looked at as more aggressive. I mean, even look at the way black people or people in general treat black women.
Right.
Like they're looked at as like the most aggressive people on earth, and
of course,
like even in whether it's in a social setting, workplace, no matter how you look at it, like they look at it as black women. Like the second she even like stands up for herself, it's because she's like lashing out and she's emotionally unstable, which is just not the case. But like we see like so many strong black women out there that do amazing things, but they still have that stigma of them, anytime they speak out or anytime they
overpowering,
they go for what they actually feel like they deserve.
But that stems from the 60s when freaking 60s and 70s when they had that rule the thing for Section 8 that, you don't need to live with a man to raise your kids. So essentially what they did is that for a lot of black families, I think this was Reagan during that time, they had Section 8 where the mother and the kid could live there and you don't need a man in the house.
Well, no,
and that was a lot in the black community.
Even if that is a part of it, it's still something that is happening today.
But it stems from that because they're kids from kids that are.
Well, actually, what you just described is actually partially correct, but it's worse because the rule for Section 8 is that you couldn't have a man living in the house. It's not that you didn't need one, you couldn't. So a married family wouldn't get it. So oftentimes they would have been given the mother more money than the man was actually making. Mm-hmm. So in her benefit to support her child and herself, she would rather leave her husband. So it was government or social benefit that actually encouraged that.
So, and that's bad.
But also, there's a study that...
You took the money...
We're saying it is bad
because... You took the money over having a man in the house to raise your kid the right way. And this is the reason...
No, you're looking at it the wrong way, Jason.
That's not what we're saying here.
I'm just saying that it's easy. Like, think about it, Jason. As a woman with 3-4 kids, your husband's making pennies a day.
Makes sense.
And somebody now tells you if you leave him, you'll get a lower cost of housing to live in. You're going to have food stamp. You're going to have all these things that's going to benefit you.
But what are you losing without the kid?
The thing is, like, the thing that you're looking at is as if like they're just turning their back on their husbands.
No,
That's not what it is.
I'm going more deep.
And I understand where you're talking about, like, yeah, you need like the father in the house, but it would be an understanding to, yes, you go live in that place because they will give our children everything they need.
Yeah.
And the man would like find a place or stay in the place that he's at and keep working. So at least they knew his income's coming in plus what they're getting, so then they can support their kids.
But what are you losing when you don't have the man in the house?
But yeah, we get that understanding. But
concept.
what we're saying is, it's like that. When we're talking about how like they look at black people as aggressive people.
But listen, where I'm going with this now. And now you have a lot of kids who grew up in this day and age with bad attitudes. You could say whatever you want. A lot of kids with bad attitudes. We always say it on TV. How come all these kids are on the streets by themselves?
But is that a death sentence, though?
It's not a death sentence, but it's an explanation of what's going on and what's causing it.
No, but it's a death sentence for black and colored colored children.
But you put them in that situation. That's my point. You're putting them in a situation, and you're asking them to figure out the situation.
Wait. Hold
on one second.
Because we were talking about how black people are viewed as aggressive people, so I don't understand how like the housing situation is why people look at black people aggressively.
Because there's
can you make that correlation so we can either continue this topic or move on?
All right, what's the stigma when they have for women and stuff? Oh, I don't need a man. That's what they always say for black women, right? Isn't
it's
that
more than that? It's more than just that.
But that's
the
part
way
of
that
it.
Society looks at any black woman who stands up for herself or is an independent or is somebody who's successful. They look at them like they're an aggressive person too, like they're a danger.
But it stems from that housing thing. I'm telling you, that's.
Well,
that's
I mean,
what
no,
I'm trying
I
to tell you.
think honestly, I think when you look at the social structure, you would have the white male as being the leader. Right under that will be the white female, and if black men are at the bottom of the totem pole and men are above women, where's black women?
Black women are on the absolute bottom.
So that's something you have to look at. But not only that, like I think it's bad when like there was this test that they did around Tamar's Rice murder. Yeah. And he was what, 13, 12?
12 years old.
12 years old. And in police eye, a lot of 12-year-old male look like they're 20, 21. So even if I look at you as a 12-year-old boy, in my head, you're 21. My approach to you is a lot different. I'm going to be more aggressive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's something, why when you look at a white male and he's 21, you treat him like, a child, but when you look at a child that's black or of color,
they treat him like
a grown man.
Yeah, like Michael Brown. Like that was the situation where like they said he was a big menacing guy who was very aggressive and made a cop fear for his own life, when you literally killed him executioner style.
Yeah.
And like saying how like
that's
charged
a problem.
him and reached
I think
for
it's
his
a
gun.
systematic issue that needs to be fixed within. And you shouldn't be, even, okay, fine. They don't shoot to bring the person to submission. It's always shoot to kill.
Yeah. I mean, it's just looking at the different levels of the way they view us, because, I mean, you have the Black Lives Matter protests that as they went on, peaceful protests, black people in the streets with white people as well. Like, it wasn't just blacks, but every time there was any type of Black Lives Matter protest going on, they would bring out police and riot gears, they would bring out tanks. Like, they really went above and beyond to make it look as if the people that are going to these walks and these protests are aggressive individuals who are going to destroy your neighborhood, which wasn't the truth. And thankfully for all the people who would be walking in those protests with their phones, recording everything, and even the media that would record it from within the walks would always have the same thing going on, where the cops were the first ones to attack, the first one to throw tear gas. And it was like every single time where we would hear on one news radio, like, oh, Black Lives Matter riot gets violent. You're watching the videos, whether it's Snapchat, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook Live, of people being like, we've literally been here peacefully walking, and now they're yelling at us to leave, and they're basically bringing out the riot gear. And it's just this look of like anything connected black is aggressive, because you have the March for Our Lives, and it's happening in multiple places, and no one's stopping it. No one's saying there's a potential for it to get ugly, and there's a potential for rioting. Like, there's none of that. It's, okay, well, we're here in solidarity with you, and we support everything you're doing. And that's
why I think there's a secret agenda behind it.
It's ridiculous.
Because even if you look at Charlottesville, these guys are walking around with guns and whatever them.
They
fire
killed
sticks.
someone.
You know what I mean? And
like
police.
someone lost their life.
Police never
at that.
aggressively went at them.
Yeah.
They just stood there.
Oh, of course. We know they didn't, because when those white nationalists decided to get violent against the anti-protesters who were there and who were also peaceful as hell,
right.
You had a guy literally get in his car and try to run them all over.
Exactly.
But yet there was no police presence like that was immediate to stop when the violence had originally occurred. Right. You know, and it's just this understanding. It's like if it was Black Lives Matter, they would have had cops everywhere.
Right, and I don't want to. I personally try to keep a distinction between Black Lives Matter and March for a Life, because I don't think they're one and the same.
No, they're not.
And March for a Life, I believe it's something to do with, like, I guess young people protesting against.
It's mainly the students,
right.
But the one thing that these students have done with like smartly was adopt a lot of the protesting traits that Black Lives Matter did.
Yeah, but the reason why I said earlier that I believe there's political gains behind it.
Well, yeah, well,
they're very well organized.
Yeah,
they're very, they have backing.
Well, it's understanding too. Like, kids these days aren't oblivious. Like, I know we like to think of things of like, okay, like they're 16, 17 years old.
No,
like,
I don't expect that.
But
and this is what I was trying to tell you.
We're looking at like a different generation where everybody is very much in tune with what's going on. You know, a lot of people are not necessarily picking sides, but they're getting a deeper understanding than maybe we would have gotten of like these type of situations at that same age, because of how much access they have.
What I'm saying, even police presence, they're not marching against police. They're marching against the NRA and the legalization of guns and these things. Why was they didn't get shut down? But
keep in mind, Black Lives Matter hasn't been shut down.
Well, no, we haven't been shut down, but they've been aggressively.
That's the one thing that I find troublesome.
Right.
And like I said, like I'm not drawing these lines to be like one is better than another, which
absolutely not.
Is absolutely not what I'm getting at. Like, I love everything that I'm seeing these young Americans do, because even when they have their rallies and they're talking at the podium, they're all saying, guess what? We are the future voters.
Yeah.
So you can ignore us now. You can act like we're not an issue now, but in a year's time, in 2 years' time, some of them are 18 years old, so they're already there.
Yeah.
You're looking at the next generation of voters who will be controlling what happens next. And if all of them are coming with this type of understanding of like where they want their country to go, it's going to be very hard for anybody that's still in office, that when all those kids come up, when the next generation comes up, for them to stop what's to come.
Like, Jamal, this is what I was telling you what the backing is. You're saying, oh, how did these kids get there? Do you know who got them there?
No,
Did you do your research to find out how they get there?
No, but explain.
I could tell you, it was Robert Kraft who took his plane to get these kids there. And Robert Kraft is a Republican, a friend of Trump.
Yeah, they went in the Patriot plane like that. Well, some of the students from Boston area, when they wanted to fly down to DC, like,
so
they got.
You can't say it's politically motivated when you have people who is a staunch. We know Trump is pro NRA, all that stuff. You can't say it's politically motivated when you have people who support him, yet they're coming out of their own pocket.
This thing is very political.
Yeah,
it's not political.
The March for Our Lives is very political.
It has nothing to do.
Even from right after the Parkland shooting happening, and they were having town halls in Florida.
Yeah, I saw.
And, you have your Congress representative Mark Rubio there. It's like, this is very political. This isn't just a conversation being had. Like, they are literally kicking down the doors to get to those ears that need to hear what they're saying. And it's very political.
Everyone hear what they're saying, but it's not going to change because there's too many people that are getting as much as I say, yeah, whatever you're doing is perfect, fine. You can beat the NRA. There's two ways to beat the NRA. There's actually one way to beat the NRA. Just say to every black person in Chicago, you know what? You guys should sign up for an NRA membership. Watch how quick that thing is going to get shut down.
Understand something, though. It's like the NRA isn't made for us.
There you go.
Like, and by us, I mean,
you're right. It's not made for us.
Black people are like minorities.
But
in
you
general.
can still apply for it.
Yeah, 100%.
Don't.
You can. Like, you can apply for it, but like the issue right now, it's not simply NRA. It's the fact that it's we know who the NRA is paying to lobby for them. And even if you pay them and you lobby them, if the next generation coming up is looking at the list of people that are under the NRA's payroll, and they say these are the people we will not vote for.
Yeah.
And the numbers are overwhelmingly stacked in this next generation of people to be against something like that. Because you're looking at a bunch of kids that are literally like, I'm afraid to go to school because I don't know if I'm going to walk out of there alive. I don't know if I'm going to be entering literally a kill zone. You know, and like that's the idea that these children have. Like you have that 11-year-old black girl who went on the podium and spoke, and you're looking at an 11-year-old worry for her safety and her life. And a lot of the solutions that are coming up is, all right, well, we're trained teachers to use guns, or every room is going to have a big barrel with rocks in it. So if a gunman comes into the room, we can all shoot rocks at him. It's like, why are we trying to find ways around it when now this generation is looking like, you don't care about our lives and our safety if these are the solutions you think are going to save our lives?
I'm of the mindset is you can vote for whatever you can, but these people have a lot of money backing behind them, especially gun lobbies. And the thing with a gun lobby like NRA, any lobby group, whatever, regardless, gun lobby, anything else, the way you beat something like that is to have enough of the people that they don't want in it. So, for example, we know Trump's a billionaire. Well, before he was president, mad money and everything like that. Trump tried to buy a football team back in the day, the Buffalo Bills.
The Buffalo Bills.
Yeah.
Every single owner said, "Hell no." Even the ones that are even he had more money than he said, like, "Fuck you. We're not bringing you here." And just like that, he's not in it. If they don't want you somewhere, they're going to do everything in their power to either stop you from getting there or they're going to give it up altogether.
Okay, I hear what you're saying.
I hear what
and
I
this
get
is
what
the
he's
reason,
saying, but
and this is the thing we were talking about last week too, with the Steph Curry and LeBron want to buy the football team for and Diddy wanted to buy the football team for the Panthers.
Right.
As much as it would be good for Diddy and Steph Curry to get that team, they're not going to get it. And it's the same reason why Vince McMahon's trying to get the Panthers too. He started the XFL thing. People think, the protest thing. No, that's not it. He's doing the XFL thing because he wants the Panthers. Because if they're saying, okay, owners could say, "Oh, we want you to have this," just stop the XFL. Because you're going to take away money from our brand. He's going to stop it 1 second and get it by his hometown team. There's always motives to something, and the best way to, I wouldn't say necessarily play their game, but you need to play above. You need to be two steps ahead of them. Like NRA, like I said, get a bunch of black people to sign up for NRA. Watch how quickly that thing is going to change. I'm telling you this right now.
Yeah, but I understand what you're saying.
Yeah,
but
I understand that, but what we're seeing is that they're not trying to. What they're essentially saying is all the people that you have in Congress that you believe will lobby for you, and if we see that you're on their payroll, we will not vote for. That is their idea. It's not a matter of let's join them and make them change. It's either you break away from this or you won't be in power.
The thing is, there's too many of the regular people that want. But the thing is, that's the thing.
And like you're looking at it where it's a matter of, look, if the voting numbers come together and you see all these NRA paid congressional people are literally no longer in their seats, then you're gonna notice like things will change.
Can't happen though. That's the thing. And there's too many.
I can't say can't. It's more a matter of we have to wait and see, because like,
it's gonna take a couple of decades before that happened though. It'll be a couple of decades.
No, I really think the next line of voters will be the litmus test for it, because you got to think it's every 4 years, right? So then, like in the 4 years that come up, you're gonna have those 16-year-olds that come in, and then on top of that, the next 4 years after that, like those two next like cycles of voters that'll be coming in of age will be a very big tell of like what's gonna happen.
There'll be three, right? Because the 18-year-olds who are still in high school,
currently 18, and then the 4 years after,
years, be the 60-year-old who goes.
Essentially, I'm just saying like you have like these ones now, and especially like because they're the most affected by it, like they're the most like immediate in time to the situation happening, so they will very much be like the most important ones.
I think that's putting too much. That's putting too much. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but I think it's putting too much of a trust in those people to vote for that. which will be good if they do.
Well, look,
But,
it can't be simply
gonna
a trust thing. It's more of a wait and see thing because you have all these students who you're seeing like they want a presence of safety,
of course,
and they want to know when they leave their house to go to school, they don't have to worry about another gunman coming in and taking their lives. Like,
of course.
And if I mean, for anybody, that's gonna be a very paramount thing. If you know this is a building that I go to on a daily basis, I probably spend more time in school than you do at home, you know, because you're there in the morning till the afternoon, and like sometimes you do extracurricular activities, so you're there even a few more hours after that.
I think that's a little bit wishful thinking for the States.
But not even
in Canada, I can see that happening.
I have an 18-year-old
but what I'm saying is,
but hold on,
it's like you believe it's something that it's wishful thinking, but we're seeing it happen. Like it's not even something that I'm like it's a hypothetical. Like no, we're seeing what the next generation wants, and we're seeing them come out in droves. Like it's not like a light little 300 people came out today, which is like beautiful. No, it's like hundreds of thousands of people across the nation, all in their own cities. Because I remember seeing there was a march in New York. The one in DC was like the biggest one, obviously, because that's where Congress is.
West Coast.
They had they had in LA, they had in Philly, I believe they had in Miami as well, obviously because it's Florida.
All those places you just named are places where it's very liberal, not conservative.
I'm talking about where the biggest
Florida is very conservative,
but
not that much.
Florida's
they're
a red
fiscal conservative, but
Florida's a red state.
not socially conservative at all.
But my point is, like, I have an 18-year-old nephew, and when they had the shooting in Maryland, which wasn't at his school, but they let them out early. And his question to us was like, why do people have guns?
Yeah.
An 18-year-old kid. You know
a lot of kids are asking that question.
Yeah,
right
why would you want to go to hurt people that you go to school with?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's fearful.
Like, come on, man. After
us
Sandy
three
Hook
alone, we were grown. We were about like 18, 19 when we experienced that.
And look, like the one thing for me, it's like, you know,
knowledge of that.
After Sandy Hook happened, they were talking about like bulletproof school bags and things like that, you know? And I mean, like, it's like I said, it's just a buildup of these things happening over and over where kids now are just looking at it like, we shouldn't have to compromise feeling safe because we want to have these ridiculous types of weapons in the streets.
Like, it's their right to have, according to their Second Amendment, but it's also the kid's right to go to school and be educated.
In a safe environment.
And, well, exactly.
Like, I mean, like, for any parent, too, like, there's no denying, like, you don't want to have a phone call come in when you know your child is at, like, from your child's school and hear something bad happen to him, let alone have to hear over the news there's a shooting at your child's school.
I mean, we're hopefully future fathers, but you know what I mean? Maybe some of us before.
But even before being a future father, like, I have my nieces, my little cousins.
There you go.
And, like, for me, like, when I hear things like this, like, thank God Canada doesn't have these types of situations happening like on like a daily basis. As
I don't even thank God anymore, because I remember after Columbine, I remember as a kid, I was like, "Mom, we live in Canada, I'm going to do it." Never to know that.
Well, the thing
6 years later, I was going to be in a situation as such.
Well, it happened once before Columbine. It really actually originally started over here. The whole gun school shooting stuff. The thing at Polytechnique and stuff like that. Yeah, so it's like same thing at Concordia too.
Since that time, we've made a lot of changes to our gun regulations and our gun. Like, you can own a gun in this city, like in Canada in general. You can own gun. You can own hunting rifles, stuff like that. But when you do, any little situation that happens where like a gun is involved, and it happens in your area, or I think there's like a certain like kilometer radius where they will check every single known gun owner. Yeah. It's like, all right, there's a shooting that happened here. You can expect in the next couple of days the cops to come to your house and check your gun. Yeah. Especially if they didn't find a weapon on scene, you know? And even sometimes, even if they did, they'll still come and check. Or they'll randomly show up and be like, all right, we want to make sure the gun is in this room, the bullets are in that room, and they're locked and secured. Yeah. Especially if you have children in the house, they will check you like randomly, just like surprise inspection, because they know you have a gun in the house with children. So the laws for Canada is a lot more stricter, and they enforce them a lot heavier than in the US. I mean, there was video of like a 15-year-old kid going to like one of those gun rallies, and we were just buying a rifle. You know, legally too. Like, it wasn't like it was illegally purchased. It was a legal purchase. Those are the pop shop thing. They've been trying to stop that in the States from happening. It's things like that. Where like you're literally looking at a 15-year-old kid who has, you know, maybe a couple $100, like $400 or $500, buys the gun, buys ammunition with it, and it's 100% legal.
But it's so funny. A 15-year-old kid could buy something that could take somebody's life, but he can't buy a can of beer. How does that make any sense?
Money. Gun lobby money.
No, it is what it is. You could buy a gun at 18 or like I said, at 15 years old, depending on what state you're in and what laws they have, but you can't drink alcohol. And usually at 15 years old, you can't drive a car.
There you go.
But look at the car regulations. You got to register it. You got to get insurance for it. You got to get a license. And before you even get your main license, you get a learner's permit. You do classes. Yep. Like you do all these things for a car. Why don't we even do like 5% of that for a gun?
You're right.
Usually for a gun, it's just, all right, fill out this form. When this comes in the mail, you got to do this and send it back. Man.
Like I told you.
But until then, here's your gun.
As long as you have the NRA and gun lobbies, that's what's going to happen. Like I said, you need to get people in there that they don't want. Like
the way you change that is literally by changing laws. So you have to get the people in Congress.
You can't change the laws if you have someone lobbying it. That's what they do. They lobby it for you not to change the laws. They pay you money for not changing the laws.
And those are the people you don't vote for.
But there's always going to be people like that. As much as you say it.
Which is why I was saying, like, these kids are looking at who's on the NRA's payroll. If you're on the NRA's payroll,
it's not that simple.
We're not voting for you.
But it's
the start. It's the start. I'm not saying it's like they do that and it changes overnight. I'm saying it's the beginning steps of a drastic change. You have to start somewhere. And if that's where you start, that's a big place to start because you're immediately showing lawmakers that, look, if they are getting paid millions of dollars by you, we don't want them in there because we don't feel like they're going to advocate for our safety over these weapons. That's what it is.
But it's funny, like you brought up Robert Kraft. Like, why was he that supportive when Black Lives Matters were having march? Did he offer up his jet?
No, of course not.
You know what I mean? These are the things that...
Well, I know they do the outreach thing to black people with Bill Belichick. They do that all the time with Bill Belichick. Right.
Yeah. But that's more of like an NFL policy. Of like
no. This is his foundation. I'm not talking about...
But that's what I mean. Like, it's still... It's part of like... team relationship because everybody on the team has to have a certain amount of hours of charity work done. Which is why there's a lot of athletes that have
I'm talking
like foundations that they donate.
Athletes. I'm talking Belichick himself. This is something
that's what I'm saying. Like,
my point is not even.
My
point wasn't just
charity.
My point is not.
They don't have to have their own charity, but they all do charity work. Like it's a policy.
But my point is not to call up necessarily Kraft. But what I'm saying is something like that should have been heavily supported as well. You know what I mean? We don't see the support when we're talking about somebody who has a gun legally because police have to have. Well, they don't have to have them, but they have them. And they're going around at will, doing whatever they want, and they're getting off. And we don't see politicians supporting that. We don't see that. You know what I mean? Him, even if you as you mentioned, he's a Republican and he's a Trump supporter. You have to remember, people know him as the owner of the Patriots football team.
Yeah.
It's money. He's not there because,
But he's not making money off of it.
Of course, it is. It's a great face for people to be like, you know what?
I don't know if it's a non-profit organization.
Yeah, but even if it was non-profit, the mere fact that if he wanted to do it just for the sake of doing it, it shouldn't have been publicized.
Well, I mean, that's something that's hard to keep under wraps. That you put a bunch of kids on an airplane and send them down to a rally. Like, it's really hard to keep that under wraps.
When you do stuff for people, you have to publicize it because it shows not only you're not a selfish person, but you're actually actively doing it. The same reason, and this is what I want to get into, speaking of the Canadians on TV here.
I didn't even bring it up because I personally, something like that, I think it's a good thing.
But like
I don't.
Like,
him basically giving them a plane to use to get down. Like,
I think that is a good thing. Yeah. But like sometimes, like especially something like this, there's a branding behind it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
create new Patriots fans.
There you go. Or, you know what I mean? Long-term supporters and all of that type of stuff.
Yeah.
It's not like he just did it out of sheer value. And he could have easily, if he wanted to have the same effect, if he wanted to, and I'm sure he's capable, he could have chartered a jet.
Oh, for sure. But
as an anonymous person,
put it like this. Maybe he has, and I'm going to assume there's some type of connection that he has to these schools that had the chance and opportunity to fly in the Patriots train. So it's like, why charter a jet when I literally have one on hand that you can use? Like, this is.
But you
like,
want to tell me
it's his.
they couldn't have landed down there and no one made mention of it?
What do you mean?
For it to be known, it's a known fact that he did that.
You have to.
Yeah, I mean, they used the Patriots airplane.
And anything
Like, it literally
Says
Patriots on the side.
anything
I
that's
said charter.
anything
That's
that's.
like, it's why charter? I have a plane. Use my plane.
I'm the type of person that anything that you do for charity work or it needs to be publicized. People say that's not good. Like, you should be anonymous and stuff like that.
But you know that there's ulterior motives.
No, because
No, but I mean, like, it's one of those things too where it's like there's so many. Once you do charity work, especially like on the scale that a lot of these celebrities do, even if they don't publicize it, a lot of it comes out because it's like when taxes come around, like
for sure.
then it becomes like record.
I'm not even going for tax. I'm going like.
But no, what I'm
just
saying,
the-
no, I'm not saying that's why they're doing it. I'm saying like it becomes public because it becomes record.
Right, you have to
I'm
expose
just
it.
in the mindset
So
that
it's like you have a lot of people that do charitable work that it doesn't get known until like months later. Like when Beyonce and Jay-Z it turned out they were one of the top donators for Black Lives Matters. Like
Right.
people didn't know for a long time that they were doing anything.
No,
Like
for
they
sure.
were basically providing food and drinks and like even like transportation for a lot of people to get to these rallies. Like people
But
didn't
that's
know.
my point. He could have, and that's what I'm saying. Like for his name to be brought up front and center during the heat of this whole thing, it's there for a reason.
But you know what? His name coming up doing something like that is a good thing. Because one thing you need are more people in that position doing something that's supportive towards
But
what
the problem I
we
have,
want.
I can't genuinely say that he did 100% for the benefit of those children or for the movement. He knows that there's a brand recognition behind
Oh,
it.
of course. But that's what I
And
mean.
there's
Like,
something for him to gain from it.
But so many times we look at brands and we want them to step up. We want them to do more. And most of the time we only pay attention to brands is when they've done something fucked up, like H&M
Right.
with the shirt, you know?
Yeah,
but
like you mentioned, Jay-Z and Beyonce, they're
Yeah.
a brand too.
but what I'm saying is like, I don't expect everyone to come out and like say what they're doing, but to have somebody like in Robert Kraft's position to do that is a good thing.
But I mean, I think it's also necessary for him to speak
Yeah.
as well, speak out against it.
Well, I mean,
If he wants to
speak,
support-
speak. But,
No, but
I think that action alone is very. It says a lot
questionable.
considering everything that's been going on in the NFL with kneeling players. It says a lot for him to do something like that.
No, it does, and it says a lot more negative.
Well, no,
for me,
I don't think so because
he criticized
the one thing
players.
we are seeing a lot of these owners do is keep quiet and they're not picking sides. If you're bringing kids down to a rally that's against gun violence, that's
Last thing I
picking a
want to make
side.
last thing I want to make this argument is racist based, but this whole March for Life affects everybody,
Yes, it does.
right?
100% it does.
And we see the support that it gets.
yeah.
But when it's something that is clearly happening to a specific ethnic group, the players are at fault. The players shouldn't kneel. They're protesting this. Why don't they say these kids are now protesting the Second Amendment and they're going against their country's value? These are the problems I have.
Look,
and
I'm not
saying
arguing
it's
with
a
that.
bad thing, right? I'm not
I'm
saying
not,
these kids
and
are doing
I'm
something
100%
bad.
not arguing with that whatsoever. But what I'm saying is, it says a lot for somebody in his position to do something like that.
And it would have said more if he kneeled as well. But
Well, you know what? I was of the type where I wasn't mad at players or people who didn't kneel the same way I wasn't mad at anybody who decided to kneel, because at the end of the day, your right is your right. You can choose to kneel or you can choose to stand.
right, I'm not saying
The only
otherwise.
thing that ever bothered me about that whole situation is how they completely changed the narration of what
The
we knew
purpose.
was clearly spoken of as
Yeah.
this is why I'm doing something. And for that alone, that is what was ridiculous about the backlash that came to any player who decided to kneel, namely Colin Kaepernick.
And
You
Michael
know?
Bennett, is his name Bennett?
Yeah, well,
Him and his brother.
but I mean, Michael Bennett now he's with the Eagles organization, so I mean, we'll see what ends up with him. But we know he has that trial in Houston, which I think is a giant crock of shit.
he's gonna be fine.
Yeah, I think it's really just like they're going after him to go after him, but there's nothing they have.
But
that-
him and his
that's gonna
brother, I
stick.
find they're very vocal people,
Yeah, well,
and
yeah.
that could be a problem.
They'll be fine. They'll be fine.
Anyways, I say we hit some 30 seconds of Trump.
All right.
30 seconds of who?
Trump. Do 30 seconds of Trump. Well, this is a story connected to him. Like we all know, Stormy Daniels had her 60 Minutes interview. I don't know if you guys checked that out.
No, I didn't. I
Uh-huh,
don't have
yeah.
time to waste.
Dude, come on. I gave you the list. You could have at least checked like a snippet of it.
Nah, it's cool.
I saw it.
Well, one thing we will say, he apparently likes to get spanked with a magazine with his own face on it.
Why am I not surprised?
He's just a big man child. That's all he is. You know what he is? He's Joffrey from Game of Thrones.
No, Joffrey was a piece of shit.
What's the difference?
Joffrey would not have been bending over and getting spanked. That's for damn sure. But knowing that Trump basically folded like a fucking rag when he was spoken down to by a beautiful woman in his eyes, it was fucking hilarious.
It's like when Tyrion keeps slapping Joffrey. And he starts acting.
This whole alleged affair happened while he was married to that woman. Right?
Yep.
Yeah. But I mean, apparently he was like comparing her to like his daughter Ivanka and like comparing and like other times like not wanting to talk about Melania at all and shit like that. It was like fucking weird.
Bro, you know,
like the shit story that was saying. I was
That's
like, yo,
people who
that's
sleep
weird,
with
bro.
their daughters.
Yeah, he definitely would be that type. Because he did say if Ivanka
he's
wasn't
made it
his daughter,
very clear he is sexually attracted to his own
So he
daughter.
probably
which is
so he probably slept with her already.
I'm not gonna
disgusting.
say he slept with his daughter.
I am not gonna say he didn't either, but I'm just
Like
saying.
that's a bit much. I'm just saying, you know, that Stormy Daniels interview came out, and I mean, it confirmed a lot of things I already suspected of Trump, where it's just he's a narcissist.
Very much so.
You know, like he clearly he has a type, which is anyone who looks remotely like his daughter, which is kind of gross.
Disturbing.
Very, very disturbing. You know, and that, you know, we already knew he's a bit of a piece of shit. So there's your 30 seconds of Trump. Thanks, Stormy Daniels. Anything else you guys want to add?
Nah.
Not at all.
You look so fucking dead, Jason. Like, what the fuck?
You had a long night.
People can't see my face on this, so what are you talking
Dude,
about?
like, got his haircut and
I know.
just
Turned out to be
his
like
ancientness
suave
went up.
Trump.
You know, I was like, he's got that fuckboy swag on him right now.
Definitely.
What?
You look like Sammy Sosa before.
Like, I feel like you just got like a horrible Yo Ma line lined up for the next chick you decide to catcall.
It's Dipset, bitch.
Hey, Yo Ma. Yeah, you Ma. You Ma, the leggings and the fucking
Do I
Uggs over
look
there,
like
Ma.
I'm fucking from Brooklyn, Dodge. Where are my Tims? Shit, I'm not from Brooklyn and stuff.
You say A a lot, don't you?
Yeah. That's straight up Harlem. That's not Brooklyn.
What?
Hey
Tims?
Ma. No, you're Hey Ma. That's your Harlem influence.
Hey, Ma?
I feel like you do a lot of shoulders when
Do you
you're,
still call him Uncle Cam?
when you're in the mood. You know, you just do a lot of shoulders before you get to the point.
You used to call Cameron Uncle Cam, bro. That's how bad it was. It was all in the family, man.
Dipset was the shit, man. They still are the shit. Don't care what no one
I'm not
says.
gonna lie, Dipset music.
No, I fuck with
summer started.
Dipset. We've had this conversation out here
Yeah,
before.
the summer has to start off with a good Dipset record.
All right. Is there anything else? Anything sports world? Nothing? Though I will say a nice happy birthday to my nieces, the little twins, turning 7. I hope I got that right. Yeah, they're turning 7. Let's say
What?
they're turning 7. Today. It's their
Oh,
birthday.
that's dope.
Yeah, we're going to have a nice little birthday party for them.
They're great kids. They're Aries. They're great kids.
Bunch of
man.
kids running around. It's gonna be
Great kids. They're gonna be grow up to be something great.
Of course.
Yes.
I'm gonna make them like little killers. That's what's gonna happen.
I don't think it's appropriate for you to say that after the
Yeah.
competition we just had.
Okay. not like that. We're like they're just gonna be the greatest, most confident, independent girls in the world. Take 0 fucks from anyone. Run up, get done up. That's what my nieces are gonna be like. Plus, I just want to have like one of them on each side when I'm walking around, just to be like, no one's gonna fuck with me because they're here. You know, put them in MMA and shit.
You're trying to build yourself a little military group.
Yeah, let's get a house
A
of
little
fighters.
militia.
A nice little house of fighters. You know, one of them like specializes in Muay Thai, the other one Jiu-Jitsu.
And you're just specializing in what?
Then like the littlest one, I'll turn into like a ninja. She'll like bouncing off the walls and like running on ceilings.
Just watches way too much anime, more than me now.
Well, because I want my nieces to be self-sufficient, hard-bodied, grown women.
Apparently, living in the freaking Naruto universe too. Walking on walls and stuff. Jesus.
I didn't say walking on walls. I said bouncing
Running,
off the walls.
bouncing off
I
walls.
said
Okay,
bouncing off
sorry.
the walls. Jeez, have a little fun, Jason. Oh my God, you must be the life of the party.
I am.
Every time you walk into a room,
He's saving his energy for Wednesday.
he just brightens up
I'll
any
be-
room he walks into
Well,
with his
hopefully brighten up the room down there.
insatiable burst of universal energy it puts into people.
Yes.
The only room we should be worried about, should be splashing paint all over that.
Pause. What the hell's wrong with you, dog? Seriously, what's wrong with you, dog?
It's funny because only us three knew exactly what we're talking about, but it's just...
We've been talking on this for 2-3 weeks now. I think everyone knows what we're talking about now.
Oh, no. We didn't record anything on the podcast about this.
Nothing at all.
Nothing at all.
All right.
Nothing at all.
Well,
have a nice vacation, though, bro.
I know. Have a good vacation.
No, I said vacation.
Luckily for you, there is no ex that's going to be showing up on that beach, but...
Yet.
Well, we don't know.
No.
Just don't bring your tablet down. That's all I say. Ding. All right, we should wrap it up.
Yeah, we should.
I got to start preparing. I got to bring a table upstairs for my sister, so I can have a little spot for the kids to eat and play on.
All right. So let's wrap it up.
Yeah, man, go for it. Go for it. Lead it off.
So everyone, thank you again for joining. We really do appreciate you guys listening to us every week. It means a lot to us when you can hear our little rants and little thoughts.
You guys are like family now. We just, even though we don't see many of your faces, we know there's love and respect there.
So if you guys can, we would love if you can, anything that you subscribe to, especially iTunes, if you can subscribe, if it's the first time you're listening, subscribe, rate us, go on the Facebook at
share.
Don't Be Mad Podcast on Facebook. Like the page. I think I'm going to create a new group page because the one we just have is the regular page.
Right.
But I'm going to have a group one where we can actually build the community up and people want to talk and all that kind of nonsense there. So I'll put all that stuff there. And same thing for Instagram and Twitter. Don't Be Mad Pod for Instagram and Twitter. Just search us there and you follow us. I'll follow back. Make that a point because everyone, everyone's trying to come up and everyone's trying to get noticed. Why not help? Except if it's
or
bullshit.
Maybe just because we want to communicate with you guys because
Yeah, it's not.
it's nice to hear from you guys every now and then to see if we're
that's what direct
bringing up
message
things
is
that
for.
you guys like.
That's what direct message is for. You can do that.
Not because people are feeling themselves.
But yeah, if please do that. You could find me personally at JJNBA. That's the same thing on Instagram and Twitter. And Matt,
I'm at LeftyLucky _ on Twitter, and
Jamali.
Matt Scorpio. Hey, dude, let me finish my tags.
your names are too long.
Let me finish my tags, all right? And Matt Scorpio on Instagram, so you can guys link up on there and follow each other and have a good time.
Jamal,
That's what's up, man.
Jamal, where can they find you?
Well, I mean, you know me. I'm not the social media guy.
You can find him in NDG.
Yeah, find me on my phone, at work.
Oh, you're giving out your phone number now?
If you already have it, that's it. If you don't have it, there's a reason.
Alrighty.
But it was a good one, man.
All right.
Stay up, stay positive,
Yeah.
and enjoy the week.
Now let me mentally prepare myself to be around 20 to 30 kids. That's going to be fun.
It's okay. You're the 31st child. There you go. You're a big kid, Matt. You know that.
You're so funny. You got all the jokes.
Turn Asian all of a sudden, dog.
You sound like-
Just turn Asian all of a sudden.
I know.
All right. So everyone, take care, and we wish you all a good Easter. Easter
Jason's
Monday.
religious?
Huh?
You religious now?
Zombie Jesus is on the way.
Zombie Jesus. I'm not
is on the
religious,
way. Zombie
but there's
Jesus
people who listen to who are religious.
Zombie Jesus.
I still respect people. I just don't believe in their sky wizard. That's all.
In 3 days,
And that's
Jesus
a
is coming out the tomb, and we're gonna get lit.
You come out, you respect them, but you call their belief sky lizard?
Sky wizard? Yeah.
What?
I said
Christians.
I said
Oh, you can leave me out of that.
Yeah, I'm not even
Yeah.
involved. Thank you.
I mean, I said zombie Jesus.
I said zombie Jesus, which is even worse. So it's evangelical.
It's not worse. He died and then came back 3 days later. People that die and come back to life are what?
Walkers.
Zombies.
Walkers. We don't have copyright.
Anyways,
We don't have
guys.
copyright for zombies.
Zombies.
All right,
Good
everyone.
week, y'all.
Take care. We'll see you all next week.
Peace.
Peace.
Fucking zombies.